Welcome back to the Kitchen Counters series. I'm Brian Chapp, the CEO and founder with Tech Recipes. With me today, I'd like to welcome Sam Deutsch. Sam is a global director at Anheuser Busch. He's responsible for consumer data globally, and he's also leading audience strategy and consumer data and measurement. I want to thank Sam for being here.
No, thanks for having me, Brian. Excited to chat today. Identity is a reason for a company and entity to understand who I am, right? A reason that I would feel comfortable with that business entity, that tech provider, that app on my phone, to understand why they would know anything about me, why they would be able to provide me benefit in that sense, why I would want them to know who I am. When we move now to the marketing side, of course, we're talking about effectiveness and efficiency driven from an understanding of a consumer on a longitudinal plane across platforms as compliantly as humanly possible based off of the legislations that exist. The speed at which the industry is moving and changing and adopting only makes it more complicated to the consumer at the end of the day. The best and most realistic test we're going to have is the implementation of iOS 14. We're going to see very quickly, right, with these, when you open your app and you have that prompt, which is written in a commendable way in plain English, right? Do you want to have this platform, this app, track you outside of its walls, right, outside of its boundaries? And I think that's the best test to really see if consumers understand or not. The biggest challenge will be how transparent are marketers or our businesses or the digital ecosystem at large going to be in saying, we want to provide you with the best experience possible. Here's what we absolutely believe is justifiable for us to request from you from a data perspective. And that's all we're going to ask for, right? And we clearly define the benefits, right? It's almost, we're talking about consent management for consumers. The workflow behind it itself is extremely technical. And I think whether you're working in technology software, or even if you're talking about the progression of machine learning and data science, analytics in the marketing function, right, we're getting into much more specialized fields that the consistent challenge across businesses are to explain, right, and to get buy-in and opt-in on certain workflows without potentially that lack of understanding and having the right translators in place. And I think you can see that having this team, this new data center of excellence exists in my company. I think you've seen more and more leaders in marketing organizations add data into their titles and things of that nature.
Right.
This is the laws and the growth in these businesses in terms of this field are growing because it provides value, and also because there's shift in the ways companies are acting, and we need to make sure it's done the right way. At the same time, though, the emphasis on not just our businesses, but other CPGs, other non-legacy D2C companies, is to reimagine what full funnel marketing is. And that starts with early on in many companies an emphasis on e-commerce, an emphasis on D2C, how you connect your equity and awareness plays all the way through the funnel of conversion online. But there's also the reality of linking your broader business back to the channels that you've been executing over for years with a new data-driven approach, right? That could be trade marketing, that could be your linear TV, that could be connected TV, right? There are efficiencies and optimizations to be had through the usage of kind of understanding of data in a compliant way that really will transform organizations into these full funnel marketing beasts. In 2019, we started our global data and digital products team, which is now our global data and media team. My remit has very much been how our company can live and breathe marketing transformation with consumer data at the core. The core for us will always be kind of transparency and value exchange when it comes to our consumer relations, right? And then on the underside is about making sure that we are set up in a manner that enables us to execute and do this all in a manner that's not just compliant, but that provides value to the business. The way we win is not through sub-segmentation and emphasizing that one-to-one communications are all we're going to do. We're trying to drive mental availability at scale across a larger ecosystem, across the penetration of the United States that drinks beer. Now, capability and talent availability is critical for us globally. There is an understanding that this talent is important, that it is going to be more important over time, and how you can have those who are across the board understanding the components of the marketing functions at a level that can drive us to be excellent. But at the same time, you need that specialist understanding where we really need to drive and extract value from a functional perspective. If you are capturing consumer data at scale, you need a centralized place that enables you to hold that data, utilize that data across your activation endpoints or across your analytics teams and things of that nature, that you have faith in are compliant. I think there are some great external partners out there that help to transform companies and then also can help to handle those kind of operational tasks that might not be a skill set or a strong suit.
identify and define what your terms mean. In this example, identity. Then make sure that as you start to understand what identity is and how you're going to measure that, how do you convert your current data set, which is likely already stored via cookies and mobile IDs, into some sort of unique identifier. And in many cases, or the majority of cases, that's using email address to do so. As you start to move kind of down the funnel, what is your tech foundation to support identity? And how do you build compatibility across different departments outside of marketing? And then make sure you have the appropriate stakeholder alignment, right? This is no longer just a marketing and advertising conversation. If you're trying to really advance your organization to the maximum potential, we're talking about data at the core, which is a baseline layer about understanding your business better so you can be more agile and do more with less.